Oh my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty!
Hey YouTube, Fat Pastor here. Thank you for coming out today. I've got a review that's been a while in the making, but I want to get this out to you because the more I use it, the more I like it. What I'm talking about is the SaneSmart solder station. This was sent to me by SaneSmart for review. It is a budget soldering iron that I was skeptical at first, but after I got into it, I have grown to really like this soldering iron. I'm not big into unboxings, but let me show you a little bit of the stuff that's in the package. I've already unboxed this. You get a manual. The manual's pretty good. You get, of course, the soldering iron. You get a pretty well-made solder sucker. It's actually pretty nice. And my opinion, it's got a soft foam grip here. It's got a good soft spring. It empties well. If you're in need of a solder sucker, this is actually a pretty good one. It comes also with 5 or 6 soldering tips. Comes with 6 soldering tips, the chisel tip. All of these, I will pull them out in a second. Comes with a solder wick, which I've used. Actually, pretty good SaneSmart solder wick. That's a 0.8 millimeter and it's a 1.5 meters long. Comes with a total of 6 solder tips. I have the conical or pencil tip on now. This is what I prefer to use. And it comes with a spool of lead-free solder. To me, that's a gem. So you can put 2 rows of solder on it. It comes with a nice little brass cleaning pad. It comes with a silicone pad around the solder tip. So if you hit your soldering iron on it, it's not going to burn it. One of the things that I did notice, if you'll pay close attention here, see this here, right there? The case is plastic. The backing here is metal, but if you get the soldering iron, you miss, and you do that like I did, you're going to burn a hole. So make sure when you put it in, this here is metal also. So when you put it in, and then that it goes up to the metal. So let me get to what I think makes this the best budget soldering iron on Amazon today. One of the first things that I noticed when I got it was my main driver as far as a soldering iron for FPV over the past couple of years has been the trusty old TS80. It's been a good soldering iron over the years. However, the USB port is starting to get a little wore out in it, and you have to wiggle it a little bit. Before that, I was using the TS100, which is another good soldering iron. You can use a barrel connector on it to power it, or USB micro. I think the USB micro was just for programming it. So I used this for years, and here recently, attained this. It was on sale at Pyro Drone. This is the I believe it's called the Ashore or something like that. Soldering iron. It's a pretty good soldering iron. I like it well enough. It's good for in the field. But for years before that, I had the Hacko, and I will try to put a card or a picture up on the screen up here of the one I had. It's very similar to the one that JB uses. The thing that I didn't like about it, I sold it to a friend, is it had a button that you would push here to bring your temperature up and down. You'd have to hold the button. I really, really liked, the thing I liked most about my Hacko was the actual pin or wand, as some people will call it, itself. And the reason, I think the reason why I like this the best, this soldering iron, in my opinion, it fits me better than any soldering iron that I've used. And I've used Weller, I've used Hacko, I've used the TS brands, TS80 and TS100s, and even the Shure or whatever that clear one was. This wand is very similar, if not almost identical, to the Hacko that I had for years. It feels good in my hand. It's more what I'm used to. But for me, there's a big plus, and that is that you have a digital readout on this. And to change the temperature from Fahrenheit, which is what I have it set to now, to Celsius, you just push a button. To adjust the temperature, you turn this knob. And there's no holding the button. It's like if you turn it up, and then it'll let you know when it gets there. So, yeah, I really like this. I stay around 650 to 660. It's what I solder with. It just works well for me. You clean your tip good. And one of the things that is, of course, it's got the little cradle here that you can pull it. It's lightweight. It don't take up a whole lot of space on your bench. So it's not very big. It's probably 6 inches by probably 8 inches. And then that's without this rack on the side of it. You put the rack on the side of it, you're probably 8 to 10 inches wide. But it's really good. If you let it sit for a while, it will go to sleep. As soon as you pick it back up, it'll turn back on. It's just an all around good soldering station. And the last time I checked on Amazon, this thing was selling for $39 with a 5% discount. So you could pick this thing up for $37, $38 for a nice solder station with a great ergonomically designed tip with probably a 3-foot cord. I'd reach about anywhere on your bench with a digital readout, sleep function. It comes with the brass pad to clean it. I would call this a above mid-grade solder center. It's just a nice, we used it 2 or 3 times. You got a big foam handle. The only thing that I don't care as much about it is that your button is here. I would prefer if it had the button here. So you kind of got to put it where you want it. Hold it up here or something. You could do it that way, but who does that? But your button is there. I wish that button was down here. So like when you're working with it like a pencil, you could just push the button. But at any rate, just reach your other hand, and it will suck the solder right up. You unscrew this front on it, and you empty out all the solder. So yeah, you get that. Comes with a spool of solder that I don't recommend using unless you are advanced in soldering. Comes with a solder wick. I can't say more about it. I can't. There's not a lot more to say about it other than it works. Now, the question that somebody was asking is, well, Fat Pastor, what's the longevity of this thing? You sold your Hacko, and I used my Hacko for years. I just really got tired of a bench soldering iron for one. And the other one, the whole button. I did not like the ergonomics of the buttons and the controls of how it worked. And I used a Weller with a friend of mine, and I really like the way that the buttons, the way that the digital knob worked. And what I would call this Sane Smart a Hacko Weller clone, because it clones, in my opinion, the best parts of both the Hacko and the Weller brands. In my opinion, as you know, this hobby is subjective. You may buy this and hate it, but that's another thing. It's Amazon, $39. Try it. If you don't like it, send it back. No harm, no foul. Just send it back, and they'll give you your money back. I think this is the best budget solder station on Amazon today, especially for FPV. You can't go wrong with it. And a big shout out and thank you for Sane Smart for sending this out to me for review. It did not cost me anything. SaneSmart has had no say in the editorial comments or my comments in any way on this review. They sent it to me, said review it, put up a review, send us a link to it, and you can keep it for free. So go out, pick this up if you are in the market at all for a good solder station. 39 bucks, guys. No, this is not aluminum. This is plastic. You can buy 4 of these for the price I paid for my Hacko. 4. So it's worth a shot. Here's the thing. This is just my opinion, but I believe that most of this stuff is made in the same factory. I believe that this solder tip or solder wand or pin, whatever you want to call it, I believe it is actually made in the same factory as the Hacko. I believe that the control knob and the electronics, as far as the digital readout and the sleep mode and the awake mode that's on this, I believe that it's made the same place that Weller's soldering iron is made. So I could be wrong. It could all be cheap Chinese junk that could fry on me next week. But we all know SaneSmart. We know that they're a name in the hobby as far as 3D printing. They make some pretty good 3D printing filament. So yeah, and give it a try. Go out and pick this up. I'm going to link in the description below. That is an affiliate link. That doesn't cost you anything. It helps our channel a little bit. And it doesn't cost you a dime. So if you're in the market for a good budget soldering station, I think the SaneSmart soldering station is the one for you. Thank you for watching. If you like this content and you want to see more content like this, if you would hit that subscribe button or hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, maybe ring that bell, and that kind of stuff helps the algorithm, helps get this out there for more people. I want as many of you guys in the hobby to see this as you can. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air.